Why, hello there, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It's April Mason here, your number one femininity educator and dating coach for the successful woman. Come on in here, come on in here. I have something to share with you on tonight. I know it's been a minute. I know y'all like, oh my God! I love you all so much. You guys have been sending so many emails and in my inboxes and my DMs, wherever you can find me, to say, oh my God, somebody just said, ooh wee, that's me. Hey, hey, hey. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, you guys are coming in here like clockwork. I love it. Hey, hey, hey. Love my top. Thank you so much, girl. Thank you, girl. Y'all know I'm the queen of off the shoulder everything. And I was looking at some pictures as I was when I was younger, and I've been wearing off the shoulder, y'all, forever. Like middle school, high school. Now, mama wouldn't let me wear it like this, but I always had like a little something like this. So this is not new. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, darling. So it's good to be back briefly. I'm not 100%, but I was inspired. I take inspired actions. So I was inspired to discuss something with you tonight. I just got finished teaching a master class in the Teach Me How to Date VIP Academy. And actually, we just had our second woman get engaged in the last, 45 days? So we got some things going on over there in the Teach Me How to Date VIP Academy. So we're so excited and happy for her. And it looked like I might have some weddings and things. Well, I got quite a few to go to from my clients. So I wanted to talk to you about something really quickly, you know, I say I'll be quick, but I'm gonna try to make this really quick because I want you to get it. I want you to digest it, and I want you to check yourself. So, excuse me, last night, I was watching the replay of Black Love. And one of the things that was said is something that I always tell my private coaching clients. And I was so happy to hear, I think his Egypt's husband, DJ Fidel, I hope I'm not saying it wrong. Please forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. But he said something. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much for saying this, because I tell my clients this all the time. Excuse me, y'all. I got a little cough. Got it from my grandson. He came and gave his granny some baby germs. But he said something that, I tell my clients this all the time. I tell women that I meet, men that I meet, just in passing, that say they're no good men, they're no good women, these women don't want nothing, these men don't want nothing. And what he said on the show is my sentiments exactly. You're single, but you're really unavailable. This is what I mean. You keep yourself busy, or you keep yourself busy to numb yourself from the pain of having to open up again, right? So you use I'm busy, you use men don't want nothing, women don't want nothing, you use where the good men at, where the good women at. You use all of these little sayings to keep you from actually being available. There's good men and good women everywhere. But what you'll do is you are so accustomed to the bad that you will not allow anyone into your actual life, right? So you'll meet someone, and if it's somebody that's good for you, you'll find something wrong with them, or you'll get caught up in what I call the newness. And the newness is, you go out on a few dates, you guys hang out, it's all good, and then all of a sudden, nothing, right? And it's not because the person actually did anything, it's more because you're really unavailable. You're not really open to focusing on actually building something special with someone. You've gotten so accustomed to doing things by yourself. You got so accustomed to being single. You got so accustomed to not having to answer to anybody. So now it's always everybody else. You find something wrong with people because actually you are the one that's unavailable. But you're walking around, you might go on some dates, you may meet people, a little dinner here, a little picnic there, or, a little meet and greet, go get drinks. But that's just very surface. you're really not trying to open up because you're afraid of intimacy. Okay? You're afraid of getting too close because you're allowing your past to run your future. So you have the image of being single, but you're not really single because you're unavailable. So no one can actually get in. You keep everything on a surface level. You have great surface conversation, but it's not going anywhere because you're really unavailable. And to my fellas that always say, oh, I'm always working, I'm busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy. BS. You're not that busy. What you're doing is numbing yourself from actually opening up like you have possibly once opened up before and was vulnerable and got your feelings hurt. Okay? So you're really not that busy. You're really not about, on your grind that much. You're really not doing that much, especially if the bank account don't reflect that, baby. Okay? Especially if you don't have enough zeros in that account before the decimal. Baby, you ain't that busy. But you might be making moves, but are you really productive? And people don't realize majority of single people, and I was guilty of this. I was totally guilty of this. That's why when he said it on the show, I could identify with it. And what I taught my clients, how I ended up having to get out of that is you have to make a choice. Make a choice to say, you know what? I am actually ready for love, and I'm not going to just say it with my mouth, but I'm going to change my subconscious thinking. Okay? I'm going to have to change and rewire my motherboard. Ooh. That's going to require work of me. That's going to require some self-development. Okay? That's going to require me to look at me and say, I'm tired of going on all of these countless first dates. I'm tired of having to go through the daunting first date questions. I'm tired of having to do this. I'm getting older. I don't want to die alone. I want someone to amplify with. Excuse me, to amplify with. I want someone a support system. I want to know that if something happened to me, that somebody gonna come home and see me and catch me laid out on the doggone floor. Okay? That's what I want. So when you understand that, you stop placing the blame on everyone else. If everybody you go out with, you find something wrong with every single person, the problem is not them. The problem is you. Okay? You get caught up in all of the excitement of the newness and all. And my ex and I, we were talking because we're still good friends. And he told me about a young lady he was dating. And it seemed like every time he got to the 6-month mark for every woman he's dated, it's like, And I said, honey, you know what the problem is? I said, you're really not as available as you think you are. Okay? I said, so you like the newness, the pursuit, the getting to know. But when it comes to getting open and vulnerable and dealing with your vulnerability and letting someone in, you would rather get rid of that woman and go get another one to start this cycle all over again than to be open enough to be vulnerable. He said, you think you know me? I said, I do. That's why we ain't together now. But I understood that. And he started thinking, he said, you know what? I started looking at my patterns and he said, you're right. I think I like the newness. He liked the courting stage. He liked the whining and dining, the taking out and the impressing and the cars, and the impressing you with things. And he liked that part. But when it was time to go deeper, he could not do it because of what he had been through. And, he ended up going to counseling. They told him he had some post-traumatic stress after his divorce. I got it. However, there comes a time where you have to say, I'm going to deal with me. I used to say, these men don't want, they don't want nothing, they blah, 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 blah. I used to be one of those, right? But it wasn't that. It was that April was emotionally unavailable. April was extremely guarded, okay? So I could not place the blame on every man. I would have to technically find something wrong with each man that I would go out with to justify my reasoning for walking away, instead of identifying that it had nothing to do with him, but it had everything to do with me hiding behind, I'm taking care of my kids, hiding behind, I'm a part of this organization, I gotta do this, hiding behind my businesses, hiding behind just being unavailable and numbing myself, acting as though I didn't want what my soul and heart actually yearned for. But I would have, at that time in my life, I would have rather do what I was doing and living in that cycle than open it up again. Instead of saying, let me learn some tools, let me gather some information so that I can be a more wise woman and discerning in my choices. Okay? Discerning in my choices so that I don't make the same mistakes, but also be woman enough, mature enough, and wise enough to understand that love is a risk. All I can do is put better information in and choose a better person than the people that I've chosen in my past to take that risk with. Okay? Nicole says, I want it, I just don't want to do the work right now. Then you don't want it bad enough. And that's fine to be in that place. But don't ever complain or don't ever say out of your mouth, there are no good men around. There are no, men that want good women around. Because a woman that's choosing not to do her self-development, or a man that's choosing not to do their self-development, and they know that they should, is not in a place to be saying what's not available. Because they're not making themselves attractive enough. And I'm not talking about on the outside. I'm talking about on the energy side. I'm talking about on the frequency side. They're not making themselves attractive enough to attract what it is that they claim that they want. And it's almost like when people say, I'm not ready to do the work, those are the main people running their mouth talking about, yep, girl, I know what you mean about these men. Oh, dog, you know what? You right. These women ain't nothing but gold diggers and blah, blah, blah. Normally, those are the people that do the most talking, but do the less action. Because pain comes with change. Thank you guys so much for sharing. There's a lot of pain that comes with change because you have to break down the current mindset. You have to really look within yourself and say, you know what? There's a part of me that keeps attracting the same type of men. Let me figure out what that part of me is that actually seems to need somebody that's going to do me like that, but I really don't want that. Okay? Let me figure out what's going on the inside of me that says I don't feel good enough or worthy enough. What is it on the inside of me that says I don't value myself to love myself enough to do the work that is required to get what I desire? And here's the thing. When people think about doing the work, they think it's going to take all day, all night. And we've been taught that you have to be whole and healed before someone will come in and love you. Before the cliche is, before God will send you a mate. That's not true. Okay? All you have to do is be open and available and have made a decision that, you know what? It's time for me to make some changes. If you're not used to a good man being in your life, guess what's going to happen? By you making a decision to be a better woman and take the action steps, not just make a decision, but make moves and do what you need to do at the same time, you might meet your man the very next day. And he might be the very thing that you needed. His presence may be what you needed to heal you. Her presence, her energy, who she is, fellas, may be just what you needed to heal you. It's not what she can do for you. It's who she is just being. A feminine woman can come in and heal your entire soul and change your entire life if you let her. And it's not by her doing anything. It's by her just being. Okay? When you are open enough, just a little bit. And when I say open enough, I mean just enough to say, okay, well, let me see. And actually not, okay, let me say this part. Because what will happen, and I've been here, and I know y'all have been here too. What'll happen is you'll start seeing someone. Everything is going good. No, they're not perfect. You might not get that butterfly feeling about them. I don't believe in the butterfly feeling. I believe in, and if I'm in your presence and I enjoy you, that's good enough for me. Okay? The butterfly feelings, normally, I don't need anxiety being around you. Okay? But what normally happens is when you meet someone and they are actually available, they're not what you're used to, something on the inside of you will start to have a distaste for them. Not because they did anything wrong, not because they were bad for you or toxic, but because you have not gotten accustomed to good. So now you throw them to the side and start this cycle all over again, and no one has done anything to you. Okay? And every person that you meet, every 4 to 6 weeks, maybe you might get to the 2-month mark, they will start not being as attractive to you. They'll start making your stomach turn. He'll start calling you too much. He'll start being there and being too consistent for you. He'll start putting in too much effort for you. She'll start she'll be respecting you. She will be loyal to you. She'll be that feminine, soft place to you. She'll be that place where you can lay your head in her lap. She will be open to you sexually. She'll be these things. All of a sudden, you don't like that. Not because she's done anything, but because you're single and unavailable. Because you're not doing the work to receive good. So here we go again. Every 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks, somebody new. And 9 times out of 10, there's somebody in the ones that you've been seeing that is good for you, but because you know what? If something falls in my lap, it will. Fellas, don't say that. Here's the thing with that. Men will say, I'm not really looking for anything, but if it, falls in my lap, I will, blah, blah, blah. That's an unavailable man. Why do I say that? Because when a man wants a new car, he's specific and intentional. When he wants to get a new job, he's specific and intentional. When he wants to do whatever it is that he wants to do, make more money, he's specific and intentional about those things. But when you start saying, I'm not, if something happened when a woman, it just happened, you're emotionally unavailable. And you tell people you're single, you go out on these dates, you act as though you're single, but at the end of the day, you're not really emotionally unavailable. You're really guarded, you're wounded, and fellas, you'll be hurt too. Ladies, I keep telling you this, men get their feelings hurt too. Men get their heart broken as well too. Men have emotions too. I don't know who taught us that they don't. They do. So instead of just saying, you know what, I'm going to choose this woman and I'm going to stick with her. I'm going to look and say, did she actually do anything wrong before I walk away? And if she did do something wrong, is it something that's redeemable or is it something that's a deal breaker? Because you can't keep just throwing folk away like that and thinking that, you can replace. Because technically even though you're unavailable and the other person is available that likes you, they're taking a risk on dealing with you and you're unavailable behind. For me, emotional intelligence is very important. Okay? I love a man with emotional intelligence. And even if he doesn't have it to the level that I would like upon meeting him, if he's open enough to be loved, like the song says, teach me how to love, if he's open enough, that's something beautiful. That's something that can be beautiful in the making. So I wanted to share that with you, ladies and gents, tonight, because I want you to ask yourself, are you single but unavailable? And you bog your time down with work, with always using the excuse, I'm putting my kids first. Always a part of something, doing something, you're just busy, numbing yourself, overbooking your schedule with events and things just to keep yourself busy enough so you don't even have to think about the fact that you're alone, you're getting older, you don't really have that support system. You're tired of going out on countless dates. You're complaining about women. You're complaining about men on a consistent basis, but you are not available enough for someone to actually come in and show you something different. You find something wrong with everyone. So if that's you, and I'm talking to you tonight, are you ready to do the work? Or are you ready to keep complaining? Are you ready to really say, it's me? Especially if you are a serial dater and you constantly out on date with different people all the time. Or you have people in your rotation that you know it ain't going it's not going nowhere really with them, but you keep them around because they don't require much of you. They don't require, or nor do they challenge you to be more vulnerable and dig deeper down, dive into more intimacy. They're cool with just kicking it with you. They cool with just sexing with you. They cool with just, I'm going out to get drinks with you. They're not challenging you to go deeper, beyond the surface. They're not challenging you to do that. So you keep them around. So you're thinking, well, I have companionship, but it's keeping you stagnant. It's keeping you in the same place. If I can't be with a man that can't elevate, I'm out the door real quick. We can't elevate. We're not going nowhere. You okay with the status quo in your emotions, in your energy, in your vibration? I can't do that. We got to be going somewhere, fellas. Ladies, you got to be open enough, okay? It's really not as difficult as you think. Because the more you are open and make a decision. So, see, here's the thing. You have to make a decision when you meet somebody that actually does it for you. You're physically attracted to them. They got a good head on their shoulders. They're going places. They have goals. You have to make a decision to not be a runner. You have to make a decision, especially when you can go within and say, this person really hasn't done anything to me. Yeah, she got some little ways I don't like. Yeah, he got some little annoying little things that he does. But he actually has not done anything, or she actually has not done anything for me to walk away from him or her. It takes courage to stay when your stomach is turning and you feeling like this person make me sick, but they ain't done nothing. And it's not a red flag. It's just that you're not accustomed to being treated well. You're not really accustomed to somebody wanting to know the depths of who you are. You're not accustomed to somebody wanting you for you without you having to put on a show about the car that you have, the house that you have, how big your booty is, you got a nice set of tatas. You're not used to nobody wanting you for who you are, stripped down to the bare you. So now that person make your stomach turn because they're not a challenge now. You ain't got to keep going back and forth, that push and pull no more. Because somebody just wants you for you. So now you're bored. I'm bored now. They're boring. They're boring to you now. So then you go right back into the dating pool, right back in the cycle, right back dating the same type of women. And fellas, y'all want to be loved too. You want somebody that can be there for you too. Somebody said the females that I eat, what did it say? The females that I meet only want to eat and drink. After that, there's nothing else until we're eating again. James, I don't blame them. I blame you. Because you're attracting takers. Sounds to me like you're a giver. So you are attracting takers. So you need to do some self-work within to figure out what is it about me that only attract women that think I'm only good enough for a meal and something to drink. Why don't they see me as husband material? Why don't they see me as more than just a meal ticket? That's not them. They're doing exactly what your energy is attracting. That's just like women that say, I meet men that never want to commit. Well, are you committed to yourself? Are you committed to putting you first? Do you love yourself? Do you value you? How can you expect someone to love and value you and you don't? So I want you to really think about that. Think about the people that you have let go, not because they did anything wrong. They were into you. They were sexually attracted to you. They respected you. They were kind to you. They liked you as a person, but you threw them away because they weren't enough to challenge enough, or they might have said a little something or did a little something something minor that you didn't like. Oh, see, nope, I got to go. Okay, I can't deal with that. Man, he be calling too much. But don't you say you want somebody that's going to pursue you? He's doing what a man that's interested does, pursues you. Oh, well, she's too laid back. She's too understanding. Well, you said you didn't want anybody full of drama. You said you didn't want nobody that's going through your phones and busting windows out your cars and all. She just cool because she just like you as you. That's it. That's all. So when you're accustomed to the traumas and drama and all the other foolishness, you will always stay single and unavailable. Good night, y'all. Love you.